welcome back to my channel. Today is day 1 of the Gilmore Girls Readathon. This Readathon is a week long from November 7th to November 13th, and it is hosted by Darling Desi, Liv's Library, The Literary Lane, and Bookables. And I will link all their channels down below in the description box for you to go check them out. So the prompts for this readathon, and I'll put a screenshot somewhere over here for you to see them and read along with me. First one is to read a book set in a small town. Next is read a book with family drama. And then you have read a book set in the fall or winter. The next is to read a book with complicated love interest. And the next is to read a book by an Asian author or a book that has Asian representation. And the last prompt is a book with leaves on the cover. There's also a prompt to bake a fall treat and watch your favorite Gilmore Girls episode. And there's also going to be a group read, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So now let's get to the fun part and talk about all the books that I'm going to read for these prompts and during the week. So I've chosen to read 4 books for all of the 6 prompts. So for the prompts set in a small town and set in the fall or winter, I decided to read As Seen on TV by Meredith Shore. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. This is also the group read for the readathon as well. So I'm just going to read the synopsis on the back of this book because I haven't read it, so it's a little difficult for me to explain what it's about. Emerging journalist Adina Geller is done with dating in New York City. If she's learned anything from made-for-TV romance movies, it's that she'll find love in a small town, the kind with harvest festivals, delightful but quirky characters, and scores of delectable single dudes. So when a big city real estate magnate targets tiny Pleasant Hollow for development, Addie knows she's found the perfect story, one that will earn her a position at a coveted online magazine, so she can finally start adulting for real. And maybe even find her dream man in the process. Only Pleasant Hollow isn't exactly pleasant. There's no charming bakery, no quaint seasonal festivals, and the residents are more ambivalent than welcoming. The only upside is Finn Adams, who's more mouth-watering than the homemade cherry pie Addie can't seem to find, even if he does work for the company she hoped to bring down. Suddenly Addie has to wonder if maybe TV got it all wrong after all. But will following her heart mean losing her chance to break into the big time? So this is obviously contemporary romance, but I love that the same name is Pleasant Hollow, like Stars Hollow in Gilmore Girls. So I'm real excited to read this. Kind of sad there's no like seasonal festivals like there are in Stars Hollow, but I guess we'll find out what happens. For the prompts, read a book with family drama and a complicated love interest, I will be reading Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Now I don't own a physical copy of this book. I own the ebook because it's on Kindle Unlimited, but I have Goodreads on my phone, so I'm going to read you the synopsis of this book. Bearded bad boy Barbara Knox prefers to live his life the way he takes his coffee, alone. Unless you count his basset hound Waylon. Knox doesn't tolerate drama, even when it comes in the form of a stranded runaway bride. Naomi wasn't just running away from her wedding. She was riding to the rescue of her estranged twin to Knockmount, Virginia, a rough-around-the-edges town where disputes are settled the old-fashioned way, with fists and beer, usually in that order. Too bad for Naomi, her evil twin hasn't changed at all. After helping herself to Naomi's car and cash, Tina leaves her with something unexpected. The niece Naomi didn't know she had. Now she's stuck in town with no car, no job, no plan, and no home with an 11-year-old going on 30 to take care of. There's a reason Knox doesn't do complications or high-maintenance women, especially not the romantic ones. But since Naomi's life imploded right in front of him, the least he can do is help her out of a jam. And just as soon as she stops getting into new trouble, he can leave her alone and get back to his peaceful, solitary life. At least, that's the plan until trouble turns into real danger. I've heard amazing things about this book. It's been on my want to read list for a long time. And it kind of reminds me, I've never seen the show, but it kind of reminds me of, what's that TV show? Virgin River. It reminds me of Virgin River. The synopsis does. So I've seen bits and pieces. So I guess we'll see. The next prompt is to read a book by an Asian author or a book that has Asian representation. And I've chosen to go with You've Reached Sam by Dustin Theo. Have I pronounced your last name right? I saw this book at Books A Million when I went to the beach with friends, and I thought the cover was beautiful. I'm sorry for the lighting. There you go. I thought the cover was beautiful, and then I read the back and it got even more interesting. So let me read it to you. Well, not really the back, it's inside. 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out. Moved out of her small town with her boyfriend, Sam. Attend college in the city. Spend a summer in Japan. But then Sam dies, and everything changes. Heartbroken, Julie skips his funeral, throws out his belongings, and tries everything to forget him. But a message Sam left behind in her yearbook forces memories to return. Desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's cell phone just to listen to his voicemail recording, and Sam picks up the phone. The connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again, and with each call, it becomes harder to let him go. And there's some quotes on the back of this that was what really grabs me, so I'm going to read them to you as well. Are you there? I blink off raindrops. I must have played one of his voicemails by mistake, but I thought I deleted them this morning. If you can hear me, say something. Let me know if this is you. I don't remember that line from before, so this must be something else. Maybe I hit my head and am suddenly imagining things. My vision blurs, so I close my eyes again to stop the trees from spinning. I'm not sure if his voice is coming through the phone or my own head, but I answer it anyway. Sam? Silence fills the woods. For a second I think he's gone, that he was never there, but then I hear a breath that isn't mine. This just sounds so good. I'm excited to dive into this. And the last prompt is to read a book with leaves on the covers, and I decided to break it up a little bit and grab a graphic novel, Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. It's still very fall, so that can also be your fall or winter. But I love graphic novels. I've gotten into graphic novels a lot more recently. So Pumpkinheads is about every autumn, all through high school, they work together at the world's best pumpkin patch. They say goodbye every Halloween, and they're reunited every September 1st. But this Halloween is different. Josie and Deja are finally seniors. It's their last season at the patch. Their last shift together. Their last goodbye. Josie's ready to spend the whole night feeling melancholy about it. He's the melancholy type. But Deja has a plan. What if, instead of moping, instead of the usual slinging lima beans down the succotash hut, oh, that's a tricky, they went out with a bang. They could see all the sights, taste all the snacks. Maybe Josie could even talk to that cute girl he's been mooning over for 3 years. What if their last shift was an adventure? So this sounds really cute. It's very, it's more like comic book type. I don't know. It's broken up more than the last graphic novel I read where the whole entire page was the artwork. But there's some cute ones in here. You can see that. So those are all of the books I'm going to read, but there is a prompt to make your favorite fall treat. And I found this recipe on Pinterest for a cinnamon roll bread pudding. I'm real excited. Love cinnamon rolls, love bread pudding. So hopefully it turns out great. I'll leave the recipe down below as well. And on that prompt, we can also watch our favorite Gilmore Girls episode. I don't really have a favorite because I love the entire show, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be one that has Jess in it, in that Jess era, because I'm Team Jess. So these are all the books. I don't know which one I'm going to read first. I'm kind of leaning towards As Seen on TV because it is the group read and I want to be able to discuss it with everyone in the Discord. I guess I will give y'all an update when I pick a book and when I start reading it. But see y'all then. Hey everyone, so it's day 3 of the Gilmore Girls Readathon. I am still working my way through As Seen on TV. About halfway through it. It's pretty slow going, so I decided I'm going to pick up the audio of You Reached Sam. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna start reading that. Like I said, this is going pretty slow. It's day 3 and I'm still on my first book. So, there's been some reading sprints happening today, so hopefully I can maybe get a chunk out of this later on. But I'm gonna start the You've Reached Sam audio, and then later tonight I'm going to make my cinnamon roll bread pudding. But other than that, that is the only update I have so far. Sorry I haven't jumped on in the past 2 days. Work has been crazy. Hopefully it won't be as crazy the rest of the week. We'll see how You've Reached Sam goes. Hello everyone, so I'm jumping on, it's Saturday night, second to last night of the Readathon, and I'm just jumping on here to give y'all an update. I don't really have one. My husband and I have been filming a wedding all day today, so I haven't been able to read it all today. I'm almost done with That Scene on TV, and I'm also almost done with You've Reached Sam, so those are only 2 books out of the 4. I may pick up the graphic novel Pumpkinheads tomorrow so I can have 1 book finished, but I can probably guarantee I'm not going to get to things we never got over. But we will see. I'm hoping to finish A Scene on TV tomorrow and You've Reached Sam. But that is the only update I have since the last time I updated you. I even did some reading sprints yesterday at work. And I don't know what it is about this week. I've just been in a reading slump. And it is currently 45 degrees outside, so I am freezing. I am in the car trying to get warm. The bride and groom were supposed to be doing their send-off in like 5 minutes, so I better hop out and go get ready to do that. But hopefully I'll have more of a better update tomorrow in my wrap-up. But see y'all guys later. So it's been about a week since the Readathon ended. You'll notice that my hair is different. A lot has happened between the end of the Readathon and now, and I'm just now able to sit down and film my wrap-up for y'all. I only read 3 out of 4 books, so As Seen on TV, You've Reached Sam, and Pumpkinheads. I was only able to finish those. Alright, so let's start with As Seen on TV. So this was also the group read for the Readathon, and I rated it 2.5 stars. It started off strong. I will give it that. It had a huge amount of potential to be really good, but it just kept getting really, really repetitive with everything. Like, the main character, Addie, around every corner she was there for a solid week in Pleasant Hollow. And around every corner, every single time she found out that it wasn't like it was on TV, she would get disappointed. And I'm just like, you've been here for a week. You should know that this town is not like TV. Why are you still getting your hopes up, I guess? So that was just very annoying, and I could see the ending coming from a mile away. And it just was, I struggled to get through this, I will be honest. It took me the whole week to read it. I would not pick this up again, that's for sure. 2.5 stars. Right, the next book that I finished was You've Reached Sam, and this is a contemporary romance, young adult, so it was really easy to get through. I also had the audio, which the narrator was really good in this too. I will say it was also repetitive of a lot of stuff that was happening, and the main character, Julie, got on my nerves a lot. She was very obsessed with talking to Sam, that she would forget about everyone else, like all of her friends that she and Sam were friends with. She just like left them to the way, or left them on the side, like didn't want to hang out with them, just wanted to constantly have her phone near her and just stay in the past, which I understand. It's a devastating thing that happened, that she lost like her best friend and her boyfriend, and to be able to talk to him again was just something she never thought she would be able to do. So I understand that. I understand she's a teenager, but it was just repetitive, and I felt like the character development of Julie could have been a little bit better, and she could have maybe more in the middle have grown to realize that she needs to move on and she needs to let go, instead of towards the very end, because the ending was great when once she let go of Sam and was able to move on with her life. So I wish we had a little bit more of that, like, growth process instead of, you know, the obsessive side. I did rate it 3 stars. And the last book I was able to finish during this readathon was Pumpkinheads, which is a graphic novel. So it was nice to break up the reading with a graphic novel to be able to also get it finished. This is also a young adult contemporary romance. I did give it 3 stars. It was really good. It was, the premise of the story was really, really cute, and just all the fall vibes. So that was my experience with the Gilmore Girls readathon. I feel like I could have done better if maybe I hadn't have started out with As Seen on TV. I feel like it put me in a reading slump, and that is another reason why I'm just now filming this wrap-up section. I have been trying to get back into reading, and I haven't been able to. But hopefully next month I will have read a lot more books than I did in November. And as always, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.